Yo, this is Comments and Criticisms here. Here with my mate Antiquity Car.
Hey.
Hey, man. So me and Antiquity were talking about sexual thoughts and masturbation in the previous video, which was following up from the inflammation of the sex drive, and we're going to be following up on that, talking about how we can sort of channel the sex drive and use it in a healthy way. And we're finishing on that point about the was it like Taoist tantra sex techniques where you can like orgasm, but you don't have to ejaculate and get all that sort of those negative effects like the drainage of the energy and so on.
The tiredness and
that like guilty remorse, like, oh fuck, wish I didn't go on Pornhub.com or whatever.
I think the remorse are more socially constructed thing because society look at masturbation as a negative thing because when a man is satisfied himself, he doesn't have the drive or the need to chase women. So that's why society look at masturbation as a negative thing, and as we are socialized, we holding these thoughts. So I think these remorse thoughts can be overcome. They are not like fixed things.
But there are definitely guys out there who might be, say, porn addicts or masturbation addicts. They're doing it 4 times a day. It's genuinely interfering with their life because they're just draining all the energy and it's affecting other aspects of their life. But you're saying they could do that fucking, 20, 30 times a day and still have all the energy they need to get shit done.
That is possible.
I mean, I'm exaggerating. I'm being hyperbolic.
But everything need to be moderate.
Of course.
I mean, sex addiction or porn addiction or masturbation addiction or any addiction is not good. Everything need to be moderate and need to be to have like the full experience. It's need to be scarce and a little bit rare to have like full enjoyment of that as a result of that, of the rareness of that, and the thing that it's not an everyday practice. So everything is in moderation, of course. In regard to this technique, we have muscles that are usually used when we go to do our things in the bathroom, to go take a dump or to pee. And those are the round muscles that are like the mouth, that is a round muscle. Also, the anus is a round muscle.
True.
And those muscles that are closing or pushing the turd or the pee are muscles that can affect or make pressure on the urea pipe. Urethra pipe. Sorry.
And it's around the gooch area, right? The gooch in between the balls and the anal canal.
The prostate position. Yeah. Now, this technique is massaging the prostate, and the prostate need to be massaged to prevent prostate cancer in the older age.
You're not sticking it in your bum, right? It's you're not going in there. It's kind of around on the skin, right?
Yeah, you don't penetrate yourself.
I wouldn't be keen on that.
No, it's not like a butt plug or something like that.
Not like Rich Piano. I heard he's into the butt plugs. Yeah, anyway.
Listen, we have stimulation of the prostate from the anus. There is no doubt about it, and you can get
like
great satisfaction. Yeah, or when you take a butt plug, yeah,
yeah.
or when you the homosexuals that take dick in.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you like it or not, anal is enjoyable.
Okay.
So not that I have much experience, but with that, but it is. Anyway, the point is that the round muscles in that area, specifically the muscle of the pee pushing by the end of the peeing, when you like pushing the last drops. This is the first muscle. The second muscle is the one that you pushing when you making the dump. So those are they are one next to each other in this area of the prostate, between the anus and the balls. And the full tantric technique is to strengthen these muscles up till the point that you can contract the muscles in such a way that you block the urethra pipe.
Well, this is kind of like the master technique. Is kind of like a beginner,
Yeah.
intermediate, advanced. Shortcuts and so on. Yeah.
This is the advance. This is the end.
If you're like a fucking Jedi, yeah.
Yeah. But as you said, there is a shortcut for if you don't have this muscle advance, and I recommend to every man, while you peeing or just after peeing, press these muscles at least 10 times or half a second, or hold it for 10 seconds and relieve it. Make some practice of this muscle, not just when you're going to bathroom. Use it, do it like along the day, and then you strengthen these muscles, and you can feel like experience orgasm while you close those muscles, and you won't ejaculate.
Well, hey, maybe some of the guys out there into lifting weights, working out, incorporate into your warm up. A bit of exercise for all your different muscles. You make some gains in the gooch as well.
Yeah. Now, the shortcuts that are available to everybody is using your fingers to press the urethra pipe and block it by your hand, therefore preventing the sperm to ejaculate and diverted either back to your balls or to the urethra itself. And then the bladder.
Yeah.
And then you will feel like need to pee, and then you're going to pee actually your sperm, but first of all, far less sperm will be ejaculate, and the lack or the loss of power and tiredness, you won't feel those things as a result.
So the tired feeling and the hormones and chemicals that are excreted is not necessarily coming from the orgasm. It's actually coming from the ejaculation and the sperm and the semen leaving the body.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you get
actually
good chemicals, which is like stuff that make you feel good, but then you don't get that hangover after.
Yeah, you don't feel tired, you don't feel drained, you don't feel, and actually you do still feel quite horny, and you can go and masturbate again if you like.
Theoretically, all day long.
Yeah, theoretically.
Yeah,
but the thing is again, moderation. after if you abuse this technique too much, you feel you losing the like like
Yeah.
the the enjoyment
Yeah, it's
of
not as sensitive. You get a tolerance,
yeah
like anything. It just
yeah
reminds me of a story of some guys. They were masturbation addicts, and they would just
yeah
spend all day doing it. And I guess
yeah.
they weren't using that technique, so at some point they had to stop, or they would just go like limp and keep going. But imagine if those guys found out the tricks, they would be doing it all day, like literally.
I can tell you that when I learned to masturbate at the age of 13 or 14 or so,
Hmm.
and I have a crazy sex drive, and I didn't know that technique at the time,
Yeah.
and I did ejaculated about 10 times a day.
No.
Sometimes getting to orgasms without any sperm going out because it was drained.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is not good.
You didn't
Not
get much homework
mas-
done, did you, bro?
not masturbating so much and not ejaculating so much. You are feeling drained. You are feeling really beat up almost. I can tell you that in my sexual adventure with females, I did had a few of them that you you lock the door of the room in the beginning of the weekend and you get out of the room just by the end of the weekend, and after weekend like that, when I go in Sunday to work, I'm like a mop rug, like
Right.
I'm yeah.
You literally
So
put balls to the wall.
so
And a little comment there. Good for avoiding sperm jacking if you can master that technique.
this is very good because then you can deviate your sexual energy for activities and things that you can use that. Any competition are good for you as a man to deviate your sexual energy. Any body activity, riding bicycle, lifting weight, working in the carpenter shop, or exercising your body is good for you for two reasons. First, you are not exposing yourself to the constant propaganda of female figures because you're doing your own things, and so your mind are not again dealing with all these stimuli, sexual stimuli.
Kind of undistracted. You're more of a. I know when I go cycling, it's almost like a meditative thing for me. I get a lot of baggage out of my mind.
Great work.
But at the same time, like, I never noticed a dip or increase in my sex drive based on my physical activities. So I've heard of this before. Like, oh, you can channel it into other things. But I always felt just as stimulated, or like my sex drive was quite inflated, no matter how much exercise I did. Like, at some points in my life, I was exercising 15 to 20 hours a week, and I still had a fairly high sex drive.
Actually, exercising increase sex drive because you have an increase in adrenaline and increase in testosterone. But the thing is, these are supposed to be deviation activities from the gynocentric propaganda for us to be horny all the time. So this is the part of the idea.
So
Let's
it's not
say,
like, okay, you could either A, masturbate, and then you could ejaculate out, and that will get rid of the sexual energy. It's not like exercise is a replacement for ejaculation. Like you go for a bike ride or lift some weights, and you come back,
No,
and all your sexual energy is gone, depleted.
no, it's not. It's not
It
like
doesn't
that. It's
deplete.
no,
Mm.
but it's the deviation. Let's say you have sex drive. Let's say it's 7. Okay. Now, if you go to town and you go to drink something or whatever, you will encounter a lot of stimuli, female figure stimuli, and sexual stimuli, and then your sex drive will become 8 or 9 in during this time. If you take this time and not go to town, just take your bike and go around your neighborhood or your country or your town or whatever, but not like you do your own meditation. So during this time, you still remain in 7 level. You don't, so when you come home, you're still in 7 level. So you didn't get more horny just because you went to take the ride. Otherwise, if you do other things, you might get more stimulate and therefore more horny. On the other hand, competition between men in sports manner or business like, or good competition, not a harmful one, is a good way to channel your. This one does, as far as my experience only, not scientific in any way or form.
Okay. Just for the guys out there are going to get a bit butthurt about it, sweet.
Yeah, so I'm saying, for my experience, when I dealing with competition, whether sports or business or thinking, playing chess or things like that, those also, on one regard, deviation, on the other regard, a channeling. Even as far as I feel, it's even lowering my sex drive. I mean, after a competition experience, I feel less horny. So this is another way, and competition between men
So it
should
lowered
be.
your sex drive, but it hasn't depleted your sexual energy. It's just kind of satiated it in some way.
It's how can I
Like
say
something
it?
inside of you has been fulfilled, maybe.
Yeah. You get other fulfillment.
Because if you have sex with a girl, that does fulfill competitive aspect, just like a sport, maybe.
Winning.
Yeah, fucking
Winning.
shit is like a biological evolutionary version of winning. So
Yeah, you got this girl. You won her. But on the other hand, if you have a good chess tournament, even if you lost a few games and you win a few games, you still get the winning feeling somewhere along with the way. And as a man that used for rejection in society, you can take the loss without breaking as a result of that. So you enjoy the benefits of the winning, and you don't take much of the sorrow that come with the losing in this kind of competition. So this is my opinion. I gave a long speech.
yeah. Okay. So do you think that you're saying it's stopping you from being stimulated just by doing these things, but it's not like it's only the fact that you're not engaging in stimulating activity, like for example reading a book. Would you say reading a book would be channeling your sexual energy? Not really.
It depends on the content. If I read down, I don't know,
Harry
50
Potter.
Shades of
Harry Potter.
50 Shades of Grey will give me
Obviously.
a
But
different
guys don't read that
sexual.
shit, bro.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, in a
But
novel.
there is a lot of romance and novels and these kind of books that you do have a lot of sexual tension during reading, and you get horny because of the scene that you read about. But if you read the Harry Potter or I don't know some Baldacci book or you know some action stories, that sex are not a basic or essential part of the story.
Okay.
So
yeah. So I think the aspects we've got here are definitely you're avoiding the stimulation. So I can say for sure, like when I browse the internet, there's a lot of titties on the internet, you know.
yeah.
And you browsing Reddit or whatever, it's on the front page, you know, because Girls Gone Wild, 5,000 votes. Like, oh, I see the thumbnail there, or have a click, boom, I'm triggered. I'm like a social justice warrior, man. I'm triggered. No, I'm. So
No, it's not that you're triggered. You are being lured to that because all feminism is playing on the sexual drive of men. They need to make it stronger and dominate and to fulfill every aspect of our life as men, because this is their way to control us. As long as we are horny, we can be tempted for rape or for sexual assaults or any advance toward women or any connection with the female species. And this is what they want. They want our attention and our like possible mischiefs or possible passing law.
like Nottinghamshire in the UK now, misogyny is illegal. You could say hi, and if the girl thinks, you know, or I think that you're being a creeper, you could go to jail.
Yeah.
That's
So
misogyny.
yeah, this is part of the thing. On the other hand, she can go bare naked on the street,
protesting
and
the slut walk, right?
Yeah, and you cannot say nothing to her. So she is like a sex porn in front of your face, and you need just to ignore that.
Yeah.
And this is
As the sexual object.
this is against men nature.
So if I could, I think what you're saying is like the sex drive for men these days, it can be used against him in so many ways. You really need to pay attention to that. And talking about channeling the sex drive into other activities, it seems like, you know, the competitive sports, maybe for example, competitive things, you need to have activities which are healthy, that channel the energy. Like for me, I feel
And
like
destructive, to distract your attention to others.
Yeah, I feel like if I don't have some activities in my life which are wholesome, like for me, a big part of that would be, say, exercise, then I feel like I will inevitably just get up to mischief, right? If I don't make sure I make my default habits good habits, inevitably, just human nature, I'm going to slip into bad habits. And it's the same with the sex drive. You need things that will fulfill your time and put you on a good path. Otherwise, you're going to slip into the way that society wants you to be. You have to be active about it.
Yeah.
So for me, exercise is a big one.
For example, I'm a petrol head, what's called. I'm crazy about cars and motorcycles and whatever
Antiquity car.
Antiquity car. And actually, Antiquity Car was a name of a company that I held that is no longer exist, but this was a company for producing a scale model of cars. Car scale models, and I used to collect this car. I still have a very large collection of miniature cars and things. And another thing that we did in the company was renovating old cars, real ones. And I'm a car mechanic, so I always had like some kind of junk car, an old antique car that need to be renovated or are in some kind of stage of renovation. And this is one of the deviation that I use. I go to work on my hobby, that is renovating car. And hobby, for example, there is Timothy Blaze MGTOW channel. He is American MGTOW, really funny and cool guy. And he, during his clips and videos, he many times locate the place at his garage, and he's renovating a very nice pickup truck. And every time you see a new video from his garage, you see that the car is progressed. He painted, he grinded a new surface, he fixed things, he welded something. Every time you see that he's progressed. So you see how he divert his interest and his time for his own hobby and his own enjoyment and his own benefit in a very productive way. And I'm I don't have this instrument in my house.
Exactly.
This is the most prominent propaganda tool of feminism.
So I guess some good stuff there. We're wrapping it up. Was it there a book that you said was good? If you're
the book called The Multi-Orgasm Man. And this book is teaching you the Tantra methods. I recommend it for every man, for every MGTOW, to learn how to control his sex drive and his ejaculation and his and not be led by his dick. I'm always saying for men, think with your big head and not with your small head.
Yeah. And to actively do that in your life, that might take a bit of work. So I think, that's good stuff. My concluding thoughts when we're talking about all these past 3 videos with the inflammation of the sex drive, the thoughts and masturbation, the channeling into having a healthy sex drive. I think, basically we just need to recognize that this is part of the equation. We do have a sex drive, but this inflamed state is not good for us. There is, in a sense, a conspiracy to use this sex drive against us as a way that women and society and the state have power over us. And if you really want to go our own way, then I think this is an aspect that we really need to address, because you're investing your energy by doing that through your sex drive. What do you reckon? Concluding thoughts?
Yeah. My concluding thoughts in that regard is accept your sex drive as part of you, but don't let it rule you on the one side. Be aware that your sex drive taking advantage daily. Don't be one of those that the system take advantage of as a result of your sex drive.
Indeed.
Thank you, mate.
Sweet, bro. All right, well, I guess that's it for now for the Mouse 6 Drive series. Hope you learned a bit about that, and maybe see you next time.
Mexico.